Hi, this is Sherry from Dive and Photo. I'm here to show you how to properly clean your gear after each and every dive. One of the most common mistakes that people make is they don't clean their gear right after use. If they're diving in salt water, it's very hard on the gear to leave it sitting there, or even something as simple as a pool. So I'm going to show you a good way to get that gear nice and clean to help ensure the integrity of it on your next dive. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start cleaning the regulators. So I'm actually going to pressurize this, and before you hook up any first stage to any tank, you want to make sure this is clear of water and debris. So you're going to just drop everything in here and let it soak for a few minutes. If you have a computer with a quick disconnect, you're going to want to make sure that it is attached. Let that soak for a few minutes. On your computer or compass bezel, you want to move it around, make sure all that sand and grit is cleaned out. I'm just going to let that soak for a few minutes. You're going to want to rinse this first stage really good. If you don't have a hose with you, you can always set the whole tank in the water if you need to. You want to just keep rinsing everything until all that salt water is off. The one thing you really want to protect from getting any water in it is this filter here. If water does get in it, it really corrodes quite quickly and you won't be able to dive on it next time. So I like to cover it with my thumb while I take this dust cap, give it a few blows, make sure nothing's in it, and then securely put it here. Okay, so now we're going to work on the BC, the buoyancy control device. I've removed the weight pouches. I don't like having to lift the extra weight. I don't like the stress on the pocket clips, so I like to take them out. Just put this in the water and let it soak for a little bit. And then after I get the outside all clean, we're going to work on cleaning the inside. So just like when you orally inflate, if you hold this button open, you can actually stream water inside of the BC bladder. Depending on what BC you have, there's other types of connectors. I'm going to show you this way because this will work on every BC. Okay, so fill it about 1/3 of the way full. And again, if you have the time to let it soak, that's perfect. But I'm just going to go ahead and move forward. I want you to fill it up with air. And once you have that air in there, you can pick up the BC and just kind of move that water around in there, just like you're washing a glass. So what you're going to want to do after you slosh the water around, you're going to want to release some through the low pressure inflator to help rinse that area, and then you're going to want to blow it up. You're going to want to move to the valves, and I see this BC has one on the right shoulder and the bottom, so I'm going to go ahead and dump and just go ahead and pull that and let some water run through there until it's nice and rinsed. Okay, now that we have the BC all rinsed out, we have to get the weight pouches that we still have soaking along with the weights. I'm going to take these out, and I'm just going to set them someplace where they can dry nicely so they don't rust out on us. And I'm going to drain the water out of here. And I'm going to put them back into the BC so we don't forget them on our next dive. Okay, now that the BC is nice and clean, I'm going to put it on a hanger and I'm going to hang it up in a nice cool place to dry. Now we're going to move on to our personal gear. What I like to do with this is I like to just go ahead and put my boots and my gloves and my mask and snorkel into the water and let it soak a little bit. And then give it a good rinsing just like you would do with anything. Now we're to the wetsuit. sometimes these things can get a little bit smelly, and there's lots of product that you can add to the water to fight that problem. But what you want to do with your wetsuit is, if it's extra sandy, go ahead and rinse it off before you dunk it, but set it in the dunk tank. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you flood the inside. Keep flooding the inside. Okay, now that everything is rinsed and hung, ready to dry, that's how you properly clean gear to get ready for your next dive.